Good morning dear students, welcome to Genesis. Here I am again with a new chapter, chemical coordination in plants. I know बहुत ज़्यादा plants हो जा रहा है, boring लगने लग रहा है, लेकिन trust me this is a last chapter. इस chapter को complete कर लिया तो plant physiology खत्म. लेकिन ये chapter boards में बहुत important है. Important से भी ज़्यादा मुझे लगता है this is a very scoring chapter. You can really score well from this chapter क्योंकि इससे बहुत ज़्यादा difficult question frame होते नहीं हैं. There is a basic framework वही फॉलो होता है और उसी ढांचे पे क्वेश्चंस बनाए जाते हैं. सो बिफोर वी जंप इनटू व्हाट इज केमिकल कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड ऑल दीज बिग टर्म्स, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड मूवमेंट. हम सबको पता है मूवमेंट इज वन characteristic or a phenomena that you mostly see in animals. We don't see in plants. But क्या ये सच है कि plants do not move? नहीं. Plants move, but plants क्या नहीं show करते हैं? They do not show bodily movement. What is bodily movement? Bodily movement is where you are moving from one place to another place. वो plants नहीं करते हैं. Why? Because they can make their own food. So they are not dependent on anybody else. So they do not have to move from one place to another in search of food. However, in case of animals, to arrange for our food, and that is why we move from one place to another. तो अगर plants में movement होता है तो किस तरह का movement दिखता है? हमें उनमें दिखता है twisting, उनमें हमें दिखता है bending, उनमें हमें और एक चीज दिखता है which is elongation. ऐसे मूवमेंट्स हमें प्लांट में दिखते हैं. मतलब है मूवमेंट बट नॉट बॉडीली मूवमेंट. दे रिमेन एट वन प्लेस, लेकिन फिर भी उनके लीव्स में हमें ट्विस्टिंग दिखता है, उनके स्टेम्स में हमें बेंडिंग दिखता है, उनके फ्रूट्स में हमें इलोंगेशन दिखता है. ये सारी चीजें अगर हम देखें, व्हाई अ प्लांट शोज मूवमेंट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. नाउ व्हाई विल अ प्लांट शो मूवमेंट? बिकॉज इट विल नॉट हैव टू मेक फूड, इट विल नॉट. व्हाई इवन सच काइंड ऑफ मूवमेंट शोन बाय प्लांट? इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ changes. कहाँ? Changes in external as well as the internal condition of plants. अगर प्लांट के एक्सटर्नल या इंटरनल कंडीशन में कोई चेंज होता है तब प्लांट इस तरह के मूवमेंट शो करता है. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस कॉल्ड? द चेंजेस दैट आर हैपनिंग विद इन द प्लांट और आउटसाइड द प्लांट इन इट्स एनवायरनमेंट, दीज आर नोन एज स्टिमुली. इन्हें हम स्टिमुली कहते हैं. प्लूरल एंड सिंगुलर इज स्टिमुलस. एंड इसी स्टिमुली के लिए ये मूवमेंट्स प्लांट शो करते हैं. एंड दैट इज व्हाई दिस ऑल ऑफ दीज दे आर व्हाट? दे आर response shown by the plants. So because of the stimuli, the plants will show these responses that I have mentioned here. So right now we know that in case of plants there are two very important features. One, they show no bodily movement. That means they will not move from one place to another like animals do. Second, they show no fast response. What do we mean by that? Quick response किसी भी stimuli के लिए plants नहीं कर पाते हैं. Like we can do, like if you dip your finger in a hot cup of tea, immediately you can just take your finger out. Such kind of responses we do not see in plants, but they definitely do respond. They respond to what? They can respond to stimuli like gravity, to sunlight. That means these are all changes that happen to water and to temperature. These are some of the stimuli to which they show response. Now to show response, in case of human beings, we have nervous system, we have endocrine system. They together work and help us in showing response to various kind of stimuli that we see around ourselves. But what about plants? They do not have any endocrine system, they do not have any nervous system, they do not have sense organs like we do. Then how can they bring about these movements? They bring about these movements by chemical coordination. And this chemical coordination is achieved in plants by producing hormones. Now ये जो word है, we all are aware of it. These are produced in our body, and now I told you that these are also produced in plants. What are these? These are chemicals which are produced in very less amount but can have major impact on our body. We already know few of these hormones in our body, like for example testosterone, thyroid hormone. These are very very important. They can bring about massive changes in your body, like all the secondary sexual characters that we see, like broadening of the shoulder in a male, then development development of beard and mustache, these are all because of the hormone testosterone that get produced in their body during the period of puberty. But in case of plants, we do not have glands, we do not have sense organs, we do not see such things, but still they produce these hormones. And you know, these hormones have been given a special name in case of plants so that we do not get confused between plant and animal hormones. So in plants, these hormones are known as phytohormones. So those hormones that are produced in a plant body, they are known as phytohormone. ये जो term hormone है, this was given by Ernest Starling and William Bayliss. The term phytohormone was given by K.V. Thiemann and F.W. Wendt. Remember this name because we are going to come across this name again in this chapter. So what did I mention? That in case of plants, whatever movement that happens, it's not because of sense organs, it's not because of the nervous system, it is by chemical coordination, and these chemicals that get produced in their body, they are hormones just like the hormones that are produced in our body. But then we give a special name, we call them phytohormones. The term hormone was given by Ernest Starling and William Bayliss, and phytohormone, this term was given by K.V. Thiemann and F.W. Wendt. Now, all of these things are clear to us, but what is not clear is how will a plant respond to these hormones or the phytohormones. Like in our case, I told you, if thyroid hormone is getting produced in our body, it boosts our metabolism, it helps in mental development. If testosterone is getting produced in the body, then the child will start to show presence of mustache, beards. So it's very evident. But what about in plants? When plants produce such phytohormones, what kind of changes are seen in them and how do they respond to these hormones? Plants have only two ways to respond to these phytohormones. So all the phytohormones that they produce will either bring or will stimulate growth or will inhibit growth. So in case of plants, the phytohormones will have only two effects. Either they are going to promote growth or they are going to inhibit growth. So the phytohormones that basically promote growth and are produced in the plant body, they are auxin, number one. We are going to study in details about their effect and everything. Next is gibberellin. Third, cytokinin. And the hormones that inhibit growth, they are of two types. One is ethylene, another is abscisic acid. So all in all, these are the 5 phytohormones that we have to study. So the hormones that promote growth in plant body, auxin, gibberellin and cytokinin, and the ones that inhibit growth in plant body, they are ethylene and abscisic acid. Now let us study about the first and most important plant hormone, which is auxin. मैंने क्यों कहा first? Because this was the first phytohormone to be discovered. किसने ये नाम दिया था? The name was given by F.W. Wendt. अभी मैंने कहा था आप लोग को while we were discussing about phytohormones, who named phytohormone, I had told you remember this name. So this is why, because this scientist just not named phytohormone but also discovered and named auxin. What is the main function? Is it a growth promoter or an inhibitor? Of course it's a growth promoter, but promotes growth where? It promotes growth in the stem, in the roots, in fruits, and it can produce its effect in very low concentration. मतलब थोड़े amount में भी this can produce its effect. Auxin जो है, it's a term that includes two types of phytohormones. So auxin is equal to synthetic plus natural phytohormones, but the specific natural auxin which is produced in plants उसका नाम है IAA. It is known as indole acetic acid. Indole acetic acid. To remember this expanded form, it's often asked in the question. So all in all, about auxin, what we know, it is the first phytohormone that was discovered. Who named it? F.W. Wendt. Where is this hormone mainly shows its effect? It shows in stem, in roots, in fruits, and also in the lateral meristem of the plant. Okay, then it can show its effect in very low concentration, and auxin has the type of the auxin which is particularly produced in plant, and this of course natural, is known as IAA, indole acetic acid. Now let us see how this hormone affects the plant body. Auxin affects the plant body in these 4 different ways. Number 1, it promotes growth. So if it is promoting growth, there would be definitely some specific areas where it promotes growth. It promotes growth in the apex of stem, root, and in fruits. So these are the areas where auxin basically shows this effect. Tip of the stem, tip of the root, and in fruits. That means it even causes the fruits to grow. But how is this brought about? होता कैसे है? By cell elongation. That means it has an effect to cause elongation of the cell. कैसे? For example, if this is a plant cell, here is the nucleus, cell membrane and cell wall. अगर इसमें we put auxin, then this is the effect that you are going to see. You are going to see that it has elongated. So this elongation is a very very crucial thing for the plant, because हम सबको पता है plant cells have a very rigid outer border which is cell wall. It's very rigid. But then क्या ऐसा ये chemical करता है that it can cause elongation of the cell? Because if the cell is elongating, definitely there is stretching of the cell wall. ये क्या करता है? This hormone can actually cause loosening of the cell wall, and since it can loosen the cell wall, it can cause elongation. बहुत easy एक example इसका, in our day-to-day life we can see grapes that are sold nowadays in the market. They are quite elongated versions of what was sold earlier. पहले grapes rounder होते थे, अभी you can see they are lot elongated. It is because ये जो grapes बनते हैं इनमें auxin को infuse किया जाता है. That is why it causes elongation of the fruit. So the first most important function done by auxin is it promotes growth of the stem, of the root apex, and also of the fruit. And how can it bring about this? By causing cell elongation. Cell elongation में होता क्या है? They cause loosening of the cell wall, as a result of which the cell wall, it kinds of becomes like elastic. It can be stretched further, and that results into elongation of that particular part wherever it is produced. अगर पूछा जाए कि सेल elongation जब स्टेम में होता है एंड रूट में होता है, कहाँ ऑक्सीन ज्यादा जरूरत होता है? It has been found that for elongating stem cells, little more auxin is required compared to elongation of root cells. The reason is the root cells are extremely sensitive to auxin, इसीलिए थोड़े से अमाउंट में भी वो बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट दिखाते हैं, whereas the stem cells are little less sensitive, and that is why they need more auxin. Another thing, the rate with which the cells are elongating, it is directly proportional to the concentration of the auxin. मतलब आप जितना auxin देंगे उतना ज्यादा सेल का elongation होगा. The next important thing is delay in senescence. Senescence is a new term that we have come across. This is aging in plants. तो plants में जब aging होता है तो उसके लिए we use a word senescence. तो किसके aging को रोकता है या delay करता है? Leaf. We all know that in plants the leaves fall on their own. हम जाके pluck नहीं करते, वो खुद ही से टूट के गिर जाते हैं. It is why, because when they grow old or when they age, they themselves break. What happens? Why they lose this strength? We'll study when we study growth inhibitors. But right now what you should know is it kind of delays the process of leaf senescence. Aging के process को plants में ये delay कर देता है. Third, it promotes rooting in cutting. We all know there are certain plants जैसे कि rose, जैसे कि bougainvillea. These are some examples जो हम अपने दोस्तों के घर से इसका स्टेम का टुकड़ा लेके आते हैं and we put it in the soil and it grows into a plant. क्यों? Because इन सारे plants में auxin help करता है to develop rooting from stem cuttings. Next is it promotes fruit formation without fertilization. पहले तो fertilization समझते हैं. We all know what is fertilization. It is a process where the male gamete fuses with the female gamete resulting into the formation of a zygote. So human में baby form करने के लिए fertilization की जरूरत होती है. Similarly plants में seeds बनाने के लिए fertilization की जरूरत होती है. Fruits बनाने के लिए भी fertilization की जरूरत होती है. So if imagine a condition where you can make a fruit without fusion of the male and female gametes of the plant body. It is something which you will study in greater detail when you go to higher standards, but as of now just remember that a process by which you can make fruits without fertilization, and such fruits will not have any seed, seedless fruits. That method is known as पार्थेनोकार्पी. इस प्रोसेस को कहा जाता है पार्थेनोकार्पी. एंड इस पार्थेनोकार्पी को प्रोमोट करने वाला जो फाइटोहार्मोन दैट इज प्रोड्यूस्ड इन प्लांट बॉडी इज ऑक्सिन. If I have to give some examples of fruits that are produced by this process, the example is banana, tomato, apple. Remember these examples. Again, this can be asked in MCQs. So all in all, we discussed that the auxin can actually bring about changes in the plant body which are positive for its growth by number one, it promotes growth in the specific areas like stem, root and fruits. Number two, it delays the process of senescence, which is also kind of a growth promoting aspect. Number three, it promotes rooting in cutting. So even a small cutting in a plant can develop its own roots because of this hormone. And last, it promotes formation of fruit without fertilization. So by this you can make fruits which are without seeds, and the process is called parthenocarpy, and some examples are banana, tomato and apple. Well, that's all for today's video. We are again going to meet in my next video with other phytohormones. Do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.